The holographic display flickered in the grand chamber of the Galactic Council, casting an eerie blue glow across the faces of representatives from 47 star systems. They had gathered to witness what they believed would be the systematic extermination of humanity by the Crithian Empire, the most feared military force in known space. Commander Anna Chen stood on the bridge of the UNSC Defiance, her dark eyes scanning the tactical readouts with calculated precision. Beside her, Lieutenant Basit Raman monitored the communications array, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface as encrypted messages poured in from across the human fleet. "Ma'am, the Crithian Armada has entered our defensive perimeter," Basit reported, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. 2,000 warships. They're broadcasting their terms of surrender on all frequencies. Anna's lips curved into a cold smile. How generous of them. Tell me, Lieutenant, how long did the Council expect us to last? Intelligence suggests they gave us 6 hours before complete annihilation, Basit replied, glancing at the countdown timer in the corner of his display. The betting pools on Centauri Prime have us lasting 3. The Crithians had made a fatal assumption, one that every species in the Galactic Council had made about humanity. They saw Earth's primitive fusion drives, our kinetic weapons, our seemingly outdated military doctrine, and they laughed. They failed to understand that humans didn't just prepare for the wars they could see. They prepared for the wars they couldn't imagine. "Activate Protocol Midnight," Anna commanded, her voice carrying across the bridge with absolute authority. Basit's fingers froze for a fraction of a second. He knew what that order meant. Every human knew what it meant. They had drilled for this scenario countless times, but never believing they'd actually need it. "Protocol Midnight confirmed," he said, entering the authorization codes. "All fleet elements acknowledging. Quantum networks are synchronizing. We have green lights across the board." In the Galactic Council chamber, the observers watched as the human fleet appeared to scatter in disarray. The Crithian Admiral's triumphant declaration echoed through the translation matrices. Witness the end of human arrogance. What happened next would be studied in military academies across the galaxy for generations. The human ships didn't retreat, they phased. In perfect synchronization, every vessel in the human fleet activated quantum displacement drives, technology that humanity had reverse-engineered from a derelict alien probe discovered in the Kuiper Belt 30 years prior. But humans had done what they always did best. They had improved it, weaponized it, and turned it into something that defied conventional warfare. "Displacement successful," Basit announced, his screen showing the fleet's new positions. "We're inside their formation. All ships are locked on target." The Crithian Armada suddenly found human warships materializing in the spaces between their own vessels, impossibly close, impossibly precise. But the quantum drives were only the beginning. Anna raised her hand, watching the synchronized countdown on her display. "Remember the fallen of Proxima. Remember New Calcutta. Remember everyone we've lost to their empire." She dropped her hand. "Fire." What the Crithians didn't know, what no species in the Council knew, was that humanity had weaponized entropy itself. The Cascade cannons, as they were officially designated, didn't fire projectiles or energy beams. They fired probability waves that increased local entropy to catastrophic levels. Molecular bonds simply forgot how to hold together. 1,500 Crithian warships dissolved into their component atoms in the first 30 seconds. In the Council chamber, representatives from species who had watched the Crithians conquer dozens of worlds sat in stunned silence. The holographic display showed the impossible, an entire armada simply ceasing to exist while the human fleet remained untouched. "Lieutenant, status of remaining Crithian forces?" Anna asked, though she could read the displays herself. She wanted her crew to feel the victory, to own it. 500 ships attempting to retreat, ma'am," Basit reported, a note of grim satisfaction in his voice. "They're broadcasting surrender on all frequencies. The Crithian Emperor himself is requesting immediate ceasefire." "Denied," Anna said flatly. "They were given the chance for peace. They chose this." The remaining Crithian ships attempted to activate their own faster-than-light drives, desperate to escape the nightmare they had flown into. But human ingenuity had one more surprise. The quantum displacement drives hadn't just moved the human fleet. They had left behind microscopic quantum anchors that created a localized field preventing FTL travel. The Crithians were trapped in normal space with an enemy they had catastrophically underestimated. "Ma'am, we're receiving communication requests from the Galactic Council," Bassett said, his expression carefully neutral. "They're demanding we cease hostilities immediately." Anna's laugh was harsh. Where were these demands when the Crithians glassed our colonies? Where was the Council when they butchered civilians on Proxima Station? She leaned forward in her command chair. "Tell the Council that humanity is done asking for permission to exist. Deploy the Reaper drones." The final act of the battle was almost anticlimactic. Autonomous drones, each carrying miniaturized cascade generators, swarmed the remaining Crithian vessels. Unlike the larger fleet weapons, the drones could target specific systems: life support, propulsion, communication arrays, leaving hulks drifting in space rather than complete annihilation. Bassett glanced at his chronometer and let out a low whistle. "Ma'am, total elapsed time from first contact to enemy neutralization, 4 hours and 53 minutes. Anna nodded slowly, her expression unchanging. "Signal the fleet. All ships are to maintain formation and await further orders." "And Lieutenant?" "Yes, ma'am?" "Open a channel to the Galactic Council. It's time they understood something about humanity." The holographic communication activated, and Anna's image appeared before the assembled representatives of the galaxy's most powerful civilizations. She could see the fear in their eyes, the shock, the recalculation of every assumption they had made about Earth and its people. "Honorable members of the Galactic Council," Anna began, her voice cold and precise. "For too long you have mistaken our restraint for weakness. You have mistaken our desire for peace as inability to wage war. Today you have witnessed what humans are capable of when you leave us no choice." She paused, letting her words sink in. "The Crethian Empire declared war on humanity. That empire no longer exists. Let this be a lesson to any who would threaten Earth or her colonies. We did not ask to be part of your galactic community. We did not ask for your conflicts. But if you bring war to our doorstep, we will end it. Swiftly, decisively, and completely." Bassett watched the council representatives, seeing the same realization dawn on face after alien face. Humanity hadn't just won a battle. They had announced their arrival on the galactic stage in the most unmistakable way possible. The war that was supposed to take hours had indeed taken hours, but not in the way anyone expected. And the galaxy would never look at humans the same way again.